think people have their fans on the front and the back of the control stick, and I do mine on the side.
Oh, you're a dirty green gobliner.
Yeah, well, because the thing is, you do have to pull back while it's getting off the ground. But after that, it is just stable and will just keep going forward if you put in no inputs. So it's like that. I like stability in my life.
Disgusting. Anyway.
And also, I can be a green goblin, a Willem Dafoe.
You're my Willem Dafoe.
Oh, babe.
That was, I meant as in like emphasizing the foe aspect. All my homies do Kira style. Anyway, hi furries! Well, since I've been talking, which has been exactly no minutes, not a single minute has passed. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Because I wanted to make sure all my sounds were speeding before we started. I wanted to be responsible garbage man. You also noticed that I have put our patrons up there. If you want to be a patron, yeah, you are. And Green Otter, which is a super cool person. My patron.
Is that the whole list?
That is, yeah. We dropped down to 2 patrons. That's fine. And one of them is you.
I'm on the show.
I know. If you want to join the Patreon, go to Daddy's Dungeon D&D at patreon.com. Last week, I was stupid and I did the poll a day late, but it still landed on the red-eyed one, and that's who I drew for this week's Patreon. If you want to see what the red-eyed one looks like, go to the Patreon, sign up, become a cultist, take a look at him. I think he's cute.
Reach a point of cognitive repairing where I still want to believe the red-eyed one is like a younger Leo chum. But the mental image I had of Leo does not match up with the red-eyed one. So I tend to choosing to believe my theory was wrong. I was choosing to believe that my image of Leo was wrong.
Aww.
I refuse to give up this theory.
Anyway, with me as always is the newly named Cleric, Moss Creature, Noodle Doodler, and Video James. This is a tabletop RPG campaign using the Root system, which is a cousin system powered by the Apocalypse. And we are in my homebrew setting of New Rodensburg, a little metropolis inside of your neighborhood, gated, bricked-in, large-walled public park. Last session, some movers got a shaken and some shakers got a moving, as a tall, dark, and handsome stranger limped his way into our lives. Thrall Abdul, this very big stranger, found his way to Sanctuary, to almost burned alive, to eventual medical treatment, and there has been a sort of vigil over Thrall Abdul by more of some of the political heads, some of the trade heads. You know, Don Chunky is there. Jack of the Box, leader of the Church of Goodburger, is there, along with all 4 of our player characters have been there watching over Thrall Abdul as he's in this kind of fevered, recovered of sleep. How has this night treated you all in the hours that passed?
Well, I was itching to burn something, and I am very disappointed that I couldn't.
And I have just been pouting that we're helping this guy for a while. I think he's just been standing slightly off the distance. Just.
I like to imagine that, Ronnie, you've made a little wooden effigy, and Ruby, you have started to make a trash can fire, but it's actually just a soda can, and you've thrown the wooden effigy into the fire. Fire!
Detective Sam Morrigan. And then he just goes next. Which I just have to remind everyone for their images in their head of Ronnie that Ronnie is absolutely jacked. He is a might of 3. This man is built. I just always need to remind
Built
you
possum tough.
Yeah, I just picture Ruby being like Octavia, like just like super scrawny and hunched over.
Yeah, that's how I just like just 2 very different images.
2 very different possums bound by the accident of birth.
Guys, and I need 10 tough guys, weak guys, to make this 20 tough guys look stronger. It's that energy.
Heck, yeah. I can also imagine that one chewy raccoon would see the fire and just start swooping in and making something, because fire is the blood of cooking.
Yeah.
What a wild sentence.
Chewie is probably alternating between what do we feed this person and what is this person?
That's right, because you still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate. There we go. That's the word. Reiterate. When the denizens of this city first laid their eyes on Thrall Abdul, they had a hard time deciding whether or not he was a human or an animal because of how tall he was. When they started to perceive him as more of a human, his like quite literal animal 4-legged form would appear, but that would clash with what their image of what a human looked like. And so they're like, that's an animal, which would cause them to start perceiving them like all the other animals in this city, and animals perceive animals as, you know, about the same size, but with the proportions of a human, and that caused a kind of cognitive dissonance. But Chewie is one of our player characters still hasn't gotten over that. Morrigan, I assume, has paced a trail into the ground?
Oh yeah, he is, there's a massive cloud of cigar smoke hovering in the air as he is stress smoking. And,
Miss Missy is right there with you, the declawed cat nurse.
Oh yeah, the 2 of them are just like, what the hell? This thing is huge. He's probably thinking the same thing along the lines of Chewie, is like, where he's thinking like, how are we gonna feed something this big? Like, Detective Morgan's like, how are we gonna detain something this big? Like, we don't know why we're in the situation we're in. How are we gonna do any sort of investigation when we can't guarantee that we can hold him in place? It's like the same concept of, you know, Superman's in jail with handcuffs on.
Right.
And it's like, how do we know that he's not just gonna walk away? Like, he's here out of his own volition.
Yeah. And this kind of tense energy is felt by all of the people who are here. We've got the editor-in-chief of the Oak Tree Gazette, Mr. Rhett E. Tesker, is here. And like I said, Don Chunky is here. We've got... where's my list of all of the factions so I can just name all of them here? Yes, like I said, Good Burger's here. Oak Tree Gazette's here. That's all the factions, actually. Besides this new faction, which I'm about to introduce. Morrigan, while you're pacing, you first feel... you first notice that the sun is starting to peek over the very literal skyline that is made by the far wall of the park. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice are 2 tall, pointed-eared shadows right behind you. And you recognize these shadows as the 2 bodyguards of the mayor of New Rodensburg. These are 2, you know, they are pit bulls. They are big. They have big, intimidating ears. They are jacked because they are pit bulls. They are taller than your average rodent and other average denizen. They are housers, which means they are human pets. Their owners jog a lot. Apparently they don't have jobs. They jog a lot and they let their dogs just do whatever here in the park. And they are standing right behind you, kind of silent, motionless, kind of waiting for something.
Oh, hey boys. Kind of walking into a situation here.
very stoic. They kind of glance down at you and then glance up at Thrall Abdul, which is taller than them, by the way, which is something that you can't really get a bead on whether or not that's bothering them.
So, what brings you to the park so early?
That would be me. And they take one tiny step apart from each other, and the tiniest little teacup pug walks between them in just in a pinstripe big, like, we're talking about Aloysius O'Hare levels of shoulder pad. The tiny little teacup pug walks in between them, and behind him the two pit bulls step back into formation. What the fuck is that?
It's a demon. I shout.
Who said that?
Ronnie,
I am out of earshot of safe distance.
A demon. And then you hear from behind the two pit bulls, Rhett E. Tesker says, extra, read all about it. Demon appeared in New Ronsburg.
Man, that was good. That's what Ronald wants.
Ron, you can mark one, you can add the Oak Tree Gazette to your reputation, and then add one notch into prestige.
Not as far as we can tell. Sam takes off his hat and kind of puts it over his chest, trying to be polite and respectful. He's like, as far as we can tell, not a demon. Ronnie, you shut your goddamn mouth.
The humans wanted him dead.
Ronnie, extra! Read all about it. Humans want demons dead. Read all about it. Press is hot. Fire hot.
Hey, sir, can we take this into a more private area?
Boys, I need uppies. And the two pit bulls.
Certain about this concept until now.
The two pit bulls. I want to paint a picture for you. The two pit bulls, they are really tall. The mayor comes up to almost one of their knees, and because you're a crow, you two almost only come up to one of their knees. So the two pit bulls come to either side of you, bend in unison, and pick you up with their paws. And now you've kind of are in this elevated, like, semi-fortified position here.
They raised us up above everybody, took us to the mayor's office.
Welcome to the penthouse. And he reaches into one of the coat pockets of one of the pit bulls, takes out a cigar. You're smoking, man. Here, have one.
Oh, hey, don't mind if I do. He pulls out his own clipper and he just bites the end of the cigar off. And
Beak, nice.
Offers the match over to the mayor for his own cigar. So we had a situation last night, sir, where
I can see that. Look at this thing.
Yeah, he's a big fella. It's a real big fella.
He puts my boys out of business.
Yeah, looking over at the bodyguards, he's just like, I've never seen anything bigger than these fellas, and this is the first for me.
There's a reason for that. Height is power in this game.
We got a whole different level of power showing up here last night. It was just to fill you in on the situation. This thing came across last night. It's got a big old wound in its side.
It's hurt.
We called in Miss Missy, and got him all patched up because we don't know what the situation is yet. Whether or not it's a demon, because it appears that the humans were involved, sir, and they also showed up last night.
Humans?
Yeah, well, reeking of a death, sir.
I like these humans. And as he knocks the ash off of a cigarette over to the side, and you can see his human, which is the most goth Lolita teenager that you've ever seen over off in the corner on a bench, just kind of with their hood up and like the big frilly skirt, knees kind of up to her chest, just buried in her phone. She's like, I like these humans. I never really heard of a human, really hurting something
I ain't never
so
seen
big.
humans like these ones before, sir. In all honesty, this was something. This was a different situation. I was scared shitless. Let's put it that way. And that doesn't happen to a crow.
You don't say.
Crows don't shit, famously.
Crows don't shit, sir.
Like, they don't run out of shit.
Well, they're both. Ah, you're right.
Now tell me, do you know of a way that I can spin this to gain more public approval?
Sir, at this time, I wouldn't know until we get a chance to get this big fella a wig and actually talk to him.
Did you say a wig? You know what?
Wig?
I'm not opposed to getting him a wig.
Awake, sir. He's
Oh.
currently unconscious.
Right.
Wig maybe, but I don't know if we're gonna have one the correct size.
Noodle, you have a question?
I do. People are awake, and like humans are around. At least one. Is no one acknowledging the dying deer in the middle of the
There is one human who is a jogger who is running laps around the park. The other human is a goth Lolita teenage girl engrossed in her phone.
All right, just check it on what this. I didn't know if there was more people.
There may be in the future.
Question over.
The situation has not evolved yet.
You know what? I got an idea. And he walks over to the other side of his office, to the chest of the other besuited pit bull, roots around in his pocket, pulls out a little plastic baggie of begging strips. Now, I know these are hard to come by, officer. And, I know we technically haven't been seeing eye to eye about whether or not stuff like this should be legalized, but I want to try something, alright? Boys! Get me up to that thing's nose! They kind of just shuffle over to the incapacitated deer. And, yeah. They have to elevate their paws, like, up past their chest, like, past their heads, up to the head of Thrall Abdul. You can, his entire quote-unquote office is filled now with the breeze of his, slumbering inhale, exhale. It's a unique musk that hasn't really been, neither of you two gentlemen in this quote-unquote office has ever smoked before. And he... the mayor. Have I named him yet?
Yeah, I've already forgotten.
So have I.
Because I write it down after, not before.
I think I'd have to just refer to him as the mayor and a teacup pug.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think you got
I've been referring to him as sir.
Sir, that's very respectful.
You didn't name it until back.
I haven't named him yet. That's cool. Just want to make sure that I didn't forget it. Forget to name him and or forget his name.
Mr. Fluffles.
The mayor holds the baggie up to the nose of Thrall Abdul and kind of slowly cracks it open. And then you can exhale, inhale. And Thrall Abdul kind of sputters awake, sneezing a bit. And the mayor kind of folds down his pug ears from the excess wind in his face, kind of straightens out his slicked back pug hair. Good morning! Ready? You want some bacon? What? What? What?
Hey, settle down, big fella. You're in good hands at the moment.
Yes. Okay. Can I have some personal space, if you could? Yes. And the mayor kind of gives his boys like a side eye, and they kind of shuffle back a little bit. Raul Abdul shifts himself back up, kind of sitting up properly. Welcome to New Rodensburg! Get the fuck out!
Woo! Good call, man.
I would love to. I don't know where I am. I just told you, you're in New Rodensburg. Get the fuck out. Yes. Oh, sure, yes. I could, if I knew where I was going, if I knew the direction of where I came from. I was lost in a trance. Quite frankly, it's something that happens often. I'm going to be completely honest. It's never led me astray until now.
What do you mean a trance?
Ronnie, where you at?
I mean, I was already close enough to shout about it earlier. I assume I had, in this conversation, I could have walked up to fucking see what's going on.
Who is that kid?
Hey, that's the Reverend's kid there.
Which Reverend's kid? There are two, and they are very different.
The good one.
Boys, can I get an elevator for the little guy? A paw slowly lowers.
As he's saying the good one, he's being very clearly, like, unsure of whether that's actually the correct answer or not. Just, good one.
Is one of them not a possum? Like, deduction could have probably got you that.
One of the boys lowers a paw all the way down to the ground for Ronnie to step onto.
I used to look tough. I used to say I was a beefcake, and then you presented me
two pit bulls. Hell yeah.
Anyway, I walk onto the hand, still arms crossed.
Ronnie, the elevator brings you up to the mayor's office. Now you're on head level with Raul Abdul, Detective Morgan, and the literal mayor. You are the tallest. You are the tallest being in this office.
Yeah, the office is made of taller beings.
This is true. Yes.
I'm a beefcake if you don't focus on
the building. This is a show all about perspective, alright?
I'm tough if you ignore the building. It's a funny sentence that can only exist in a story this goofy.
Hell yes.
Anyway. Yes.
You want a Beckett strip? Oh, I shouldn't offer drugs to the clergy. Are you here on as the official capacity for the Church of Good Burger?
No, I am on vague Good Burger business, but me and my sister, and I gesture off into the distance.
How? Okay. You don't know how this works. What do I call you to the press should they ask? Ronald, what? Who are you? Why should your opinion matter?
I was the one who found the guy. You interrupted me while I was saying that.
Alright.
Me and my sister were both the ones we were the witness.
Witness. Eyewitness. You witnessed, sorry. Okay.
I'd like to say we witnessed.
You want drugs?
Again, down to a woman who's lighting an effigy on fire.
You want drugs?
Detective Morgan standing behind you, looking as you're looking at Ruby, just being like...
Are you sitting behind me, or are you standing behind the dog?
Like, standing behind the mayor, just being like, don't bring her up. Don't bring her up.
Actually, I think this is an example of something on which Morgan and I agree.
Fair enough!
Fair. Flicking a lighter on and off.
You're doing that thing.
Dog on fire.
Oh my god, you're doing that thing in the second X-Men movie that Pyro does with the lighter.
Yeah, Yeah, just flipping it around his hand.
Yeah. You want drugs? I got bacon strips. Bacon strips are like crack.
As tempting of an offer that is, I am a man of the Lords.
You're a burger boy. Gotcha. And he puts it back in the little Ziploc bag. He shuts it, opens it up a crack, zips it back up again. Walks over to one of the big boys, puts it in the coat pocket of one of his big boys. So
They have coat pockets? What are these?
these pit bulls are wearing suits.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah.
To us, they look like,
People.
animals in people clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Got me there.
They're in very sharp Men in Black style black suits.
You really sold me on this concept with these dogs.
One's a kind of dark chocolate. The other one's more like a caramel macchiato color.
Okay. I was picturing them both as gray until now. So.
Okay, that's good.
I'm picturing the secret agent from Lilo and Stitch.
Bubbles.
All shoulder, no neck.
Heck yeah.
It's just dog's face.
The big chunky pit bull face. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Shit.
Anyway, listen. This is what I know. This guy came in. He said the humans tried to kill him, and that he was injured. And I think we both understand that humans wouldn't try to kill something unless they had to. And yet, this guy, and I poke at Sam's chest. This guy seems to want to bring him further into the town. Like that's gonna be a good idea. I stepped aside.
He kind of does this with his hand to you. Now you talk.
So we're only keeping him alive at this point because that's the right thing to do. As clearly he's not a human, he is another animal. It is to be determined what status he actually belongs to. He's clearly not a houser, as far as we can tell. But we can't get a story out of him if he's dead already. So we were trying to keep him alive, trying to figure out what the hell is actually happening here. And the sooner that we can get him out of the park on his own two forelegs, the better.
Okay. And then he turns to Thrall Abdul. Now you talk.
Such a good mediator.
Yeah.
As we just talked about whether or not
Phenomenal.
he should be allowed into the town.
Phenomenal politician.
What do you want me to talk about? Why shouldn't I have my boys here rip you apart right now? The two pit bulls just kind of like in unison swivel their heads over right at Thrall Abdul and kind of bare their teeth a little. 'Cause I've done nothing but seek asylum within this place. It's a city. I'm the mayor of it. Isn't it wonderful? Yes.
Man, smart man. That's a man who values his life right there.
Why? You said you can't remember. You were in some kind of a trance. Can you talk to me about that? Oh, well, okay. I should probably say I follow a religion, sort of, more of a lifestyle, a creed, a kind of ancestral voice called the Wild Call. It speaks to all living creatures, and in times of great need, will take over their body and cause them to do what is absolutely necessary to survive. And should it be the call's will, they will perish, and it is unfortunate. But the perish of one creature is good for another creature for one reason or another. The vultures, perhaps, they eat, and so do the scavengers of the... You know about scavenging, don't you, Possum?
I'm sorry. What now?
Scavenging. Eating dead creatures that are that have been killed by natural or just the leftover carcass of animals that have been. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I subsist wholly off of the gifts of the humans.
Isn't that? That is strange. Huh. The only gifts the humans have ever left us are rough, tasteless, and do not digest. And yet you subsist off of them?
I'm starting to think you and I might have a different relationship with the humans, which is again why I don't think particularly highly.
Okay. Tell me, what's the last thing you remember before you went into this hippy-dippy voodoo trance? Well, there was a great panic in the hall. Yes, there was a great panic in the hall of the wild horde. The Lynx King, he heard he heard one of the human hunters approaching. He told us all to scatter, and then there were great loud noises, just echoing everywhere, here and there, and this. You can see that his eyes dart back and forth, remembering something very traumatic. And then the wild call filled my lungs, and I ran, and then pain, and then. And then you woke me up with that bag of... What was that? It smelled putrid. Don't insult a man's drugs like that, man.
Goon, just checking, is he forgetting the conversation he had with Ruby and I, or did you forget it?
He forgot.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure if that was like a mistake or an intentional piece. So you don't remember talking to me and my sister several hours ago?
You can see him furrow his brow, strain his mind. He winces, he kind of grips his head, pushing his ears back with his head, with his hands, and then he grips his wound. It's fuzzy. It's coming in and out. It's hard to make out. But I remember a sea of fur parting, and yes, you two remained.
Yeah, not my idea, but here we are.
Yes, here we are.
Man, I don't know. This is obviously your call, but I can't imagine giant human-like monster thrashes town is gonna be a good headline for your campaign.
When did I haven't caused any damage to your city, was it?
Yet.
Yeah.
Yes, it's what do you have instead of a city?
We have a kingdom. We have a king. We have lords. We have a clergy. We have little smaller creatures that do things for no real compensation besides their lives.
Would Ron even know what the concept of slavery is? Has New Ronsburg had slavery at any point?
No.
you say they do like they want to do it, or are you making them do it?
They do it so they continue to live.
So if they
Their payment is enough to continue to live.
So if they did, you would kill them?
If they didn't do what they were to do, they would no longer have the protection of the kingdom to back them up. It would maybe cause them to die, or they would leave the forest.
I think Ronnie's just still. I think naturally, as anyone who would just had the concept of slavery explained to them, I think Ronnie's just a little fucked up right now.
To be fair, I think I'm expressing feudalism more than slavery.
Yeah, but he thinks. I mean, the way he's thinking about it is
right,
because he doesn't fully understand. It sounds like he still kind of thinks the implication is that they get killed if they don't. They might get killed if they don't. Because you gotta remember, this guy doesn't. Ronnie already doesn't trust this guy.
Yeah, right.
So like, you don't take care of those in need? What do you mean?
No.
Like, what if they can't work?
Then, if they can't work, their children work, I guess. Now that you mention it, I haven't really scrutinized the system that I was born into all that deeply. I was too concerned with learning how to listen to the wild call.
I actually do understand that a little bit.
What do we do when they cannot work anymore? Well, seems to me like there's one thing that needs to happen here. We figure out where exactly the fuck he comes from, and get him the fuck back there.
Where did he come from? Where will he go? You know?
You trying to be funny?
Never. Literally never. Under no circumstance. I'm a man of gods.
Well, honestly, that sucks. I like a little bit of levity in my sermons. Boys, downsies, please. And the entire office goes down. And then he claps his hands twice. Boys, I need a stage. And one of the dogs goes down on his back, and the other one kind of turns its back and holds his jacket flaps open like a great big tent, like a great big backdrop. And this little teacup poodle, this little teacup pug walks up the paws of the dog that is now the stage and kind of goes, "Citizens of New Rodensburg, esteemed peoples of importance, and the trash that run the newspaper," and he gives them a little wink. "Extra, extra, read all about it. Mayor calls me trash. I'm offended."
Opinion. Mayor shouldn't have called me trash.
In light of last night's happenings, it has come to my attention that a party will need to be formed into the investigation, the assertion, and the, oh, there's one more good word here for this. The getting there of this guy who has name... I didn't catch your name. What's your name, big guy? I'm sorry? I can't hear you all the way down there. Oh, you think you're funny? Come down here!
Oh gosh.
My name is Thrall Abdul, chosen speaker of the Wild Call in the Court of Antler under the banner of the Forest Horde under rule of the Lynx King. That's a lot. That is a whole lot. That's a whole lot. This guy needs to go home so that we can all go back to living our normal lives. Heading up this task force, I am appointing one detective, Sam Morrigan, and this possum, who is a representative of the Church of Good Burger. Any questions regarding what the heck this thing is, this guy is, should be directed at him. I've only learned enough to delegate. Alright, boys, that should be enough. And he walks off the stage. Now, if you excuse me, I am in desperate need of pets by my house. My human. Let's go, boys. And the teacup pug walks away towards the Lolita, the goth-Lolita teenager, with the pit bulls close behind. Leaving just you, Thrall Abdul, and Sam, Ronnie, and Thrall is there. And after a little bit of shooing of, nosy squirrels and assorted junk, you guys finally have, the space to really talk and hash out a plan here.
Well, I was a little hesitant about this whole thing, but it'll be nice to be working with you for once, Detective Morgan.
Yeah, it's definitely a change, that's for sure.
This has become a buddy cop thing so fast. So fast did we get to buddy cop. 3 episodes.
Let's go.
Speed run for tropes, I think.
Well, we're gonna have to get you some sort of mild deputization down at the office. We're gonna be working together in a task force. So we'll get you the proper paperwork, get you the proper forms, get you squared away.
I can do a mild ritual, making him a knight of the Forest Horde, if that would suffice.
Oh, hold on. First of all, you ain't doing shit to me. Second of all, what is a knight?
Well,
when it's dark out, you can make things dark.
No, it's like a champion. It's like a warrior.
Oh, I think I know that. I think I know that one. Nice.
It's like a champion or a warrior, a fighter, appointed by the local governance. Usually, to be fair, most of our knights are wolves, but our possum shouldn't be. When you truly think about it, the possum and the wolf are not too entirely different. One eats before the other. It's like, those things were wolves. Those 2 bigger ones, not the tiny one.
No, those were dogs.
What? Those are wolves. Strange-looking wolves, yes, but those are wolves.
Okay. You know what? Side note: is he wearing clothes? At no point
He's
have I bothered to ask this.
No, well, if you had did you see the promotional TikTok I made?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. I described his druidic attire.
Oh, no,
He's got a druidic like fur shawl and a tight leather corset, which now has the bullet wound in it, and various talismans and stuff just hanging off of him.
You know what? I'll chalk it up to a culture thing. Here, we call those dogs.
Dogs.
That's what we call them. So are you saying you have a ritual that would turn me into a dog?
No, I have a rite of passage that would give you the same political status of that of the protectors of the Forest Horde. It's a ceremonial thing.
Go ahead and we're going to cut this conversation right there. We don't need no diplomatic issues going on between potential political factions between wherever the hell you're from and the city of New Rodensburg here. I don't need you going around deputizing my deputy.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do my. You seem, at the very least, You seem fine. I just want you to get out. I think you understand. I think you want that too.
I would
So
like
I'm
to
gonna
go
do
home.
my
Yes.
best. Yes, I'm gonna do my best. Play nice. To start, what do you eat? Are you like a... Hold on, is everyone an omnivore in this world, or are we following the same
There's,
dietary restrictions?
Some omnivores, but most of the omnivores get their protein from the discarded hamburgers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what's your diet situation? Are you like a carnivore? I lean back a little.
Oh no,
Omnivore?
no! I eat only what Mother Earth provides.
Do you have access to that here?
He like pulls a handful of grass out of the ground and just puts it in his
You
mouth.
eat the fucking ground?
I eat grass. I eat grass.
Ronnie, honestly, that's probably the least surprising thing that's happened in the past 24 hours.
You eat fucking ground, detective.
A fucking grasshopper hops by, and Ronnie, you snatch it out of the air and shove it in your mouth.
You understand how fucking weird this guy is.
No, bugs are not alive. Bugs are on a lower level of consciousness than animals.
Gotcha. Okay, bugs are to us what animals are to humans. Gotcha.
Right.
So if we play another campaign, we can play bugs.
Bugs.
Within the...
It's a rushing nesting doll of consciousness.
Wait,
That's a post-apocalyptic horror theme. Playing the
are there people that keep bugs as pets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, Reverend Tortoise of the Church of Goodburger has a small ranch, like a desk ranch of ladybugs.
Okay, anyway. You know what, Thrall, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get you something from what I eat, and we'll see whose is better, okay?
Is this a
I'll get
cook-off?
to you later. No, because I don't cook. We both accept the blessings given to
By people?
Wait, are we
Fight.
converting?
I would like to show you the blessing that they've given me, and he points down to his bullet wound. I guess that's a good comedic break there.
Yeah.
You guys all scurry off to your
Let's
corners.
go to the office, detective.
I wanna go to the spoon real fast, where Chewie, you've returned, to start the preparation for the day's meals and whatnot. And after a little while, your uncle Don Chunky comes into the restaurant, and he's got a little bit of a smirk to his face. He's got a plan. You can always tell. You're not really great at social cues, but you can always tell when your uncle has a plan. And usually when your uncle has a plan, someone ends up dying. That's not great. With this information, Chewie, how do you acknowledge that your uncle is there? What do you do in this situation?
Having a good day?
Yes, I'm having a rather good day. An opportunity has come into the city with a gaping bullet wound, and an opportunity has spouted off of that opportunity to get rid of a certain pesky individual to certain happenings that I've been happening to happen here and there. Do you like that watch I got you?
It's nice.
It's a nice watch. You know how I was able to
Very good for cook timers.
Yeah. You know how I was able to get you such a nice watch? My my little hobbies, my art collection, my dog fights. I was able to do those things unimpeded by nosy eyes in the sky.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, Chewie, you've always been a very good nephew.
thank you. I try.
Do you remember when your dad, there was a rush happening in the restaurant, and your dad kind of halted production in the kitchen, and he came on over to you and he gave you a little vial of something. Remember that?
Yeah?
I remember how you put that little something into a certain someone's food, and they kept me able to do the things that I do.
I don't like it when my food hurts people, but...
I know that's
if
not
it's
why you
help
cook.
you,
Yeah, if it helps me. If it keeps you
It
being
helps
a
the
good
family.
nephew, it helps the yes, that's exactly, yes. It helps the family. You get it. You get it. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think you need a vacation.
I do?
Yeah, you run this kitchen like a freaking military operation. Here,
Because I love it.
you do.
We have a military? Hold on.
We know what okay, wait. Military, like, human military people, I've seen them in parks before.
Yeah,
Like, in
there's a
Vietnam.
Vietnam memorial in this park.
There's an ROTC group that
So,
comes
like-
in and works out in the park.
Yeah.
Know what a military regiment looks like, even if we don't know what the
Okay.
military is.
Yeah.
It's not
The
like
idea of a
it's
military still
just-
exists.
Junior ROTC.
Yeah. You've seen the Boy Scouts?
Organized a bunch of animals.
Yeah. I can tell. Look at these big... He like kind of grabs your face a little bit and starts pulling at your eyeballs. Look at these bags under your eyes. It's actually just your mask. Look at these bags under your eyes, my poor boy. You need a vacation. It seems to me that that possum boy and his little detective friend, they're gonna go on a little trip. And... how do I put this? If that little detective doesn't come back, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And he flicks his wrist up, and a little vial of something is in his hand. I want you to be a very enthusiastic volunteer for whatever pilgrimage they are going to go on to get that thing back where it came from. Do you understand me?
I think so.
I'm glad we understand each other. You're a very good boy, you know that? Look at you. It kind of tussles your hair.
I thought of a really good mafia pun that you didn't use.
Hit me.
It's important to me that I share that. You know, they're gonna go on a little trip, and after you trip, it's pretty natural to fall.
Hey, that's pretty good. I like that.
That's what popped into my head, and I just kept that emotionally inside for a week. Let that boil up until I couldn't not say it.
Ah, that's fine.
Hey, Uncle, can I ask a question?
What's up?
What makes this guy different than all the other birds? Like all the other bird cops. Why I know you don't really like it when people ask a lot of questions, but I'm curious.
This guy, like the other bird I had you kill, that blue jay a long time ago, remember that?
Uh-huh.
This bird, this crow, this Sam, he doesn't accept gifts like your watch. He's got a thing inside of him, makes him hard to crack, like a bad walnut.
What if he does crack?
If I could find a way to take the fight out of Detective Sam Morgan, I would love it. If I
So he
could.
puts his hand out for the vial. I'll take this, but I want to see if I can do something first. I want to figure him out.
Ah! Be my guest. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll be back here if you, you won't need me. And he goes back into the back room. The room that you've never been invited into. The room where your dad spends most of his days doing, he says accounting, but you've never seen him do accounting.
Well, of course, I've never been in the room.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
I love Chewie so much. Every time he talks, I get so happy.
Alright.
That makes me so happy.
Turns out accounting is just the name of a streetwise woman.
I actually love that. That
works on levels.
That works on levels, man.
That's what people call it on the internet already these days.
This is true. All right. In New Rodensburg, the town in which New Rodensburg was erected, there was a war hero in the Vietnam War. He was a local hero, and so the people of this town erected a memorial for him in the early 70s. Well, in the 70s. And it was loved, it was cherished, it was cleaned every weekend by the local Boy Scout troop. But then sometime in the early 90s, someone let slip that that guy was actually a gigantic dirtbag and a piece of shit and a real doo-doo stinky head and a bad man. I mean bad. Really, really bad. And so now the topiary bushes that were planted outside of this memorial have overgrown, and this is where the police birds of New Rodensburg hold their offices, along with one really old gray stray cat everyone affectionately calls Old Chompers because of the constant line that she uses says, "I'll chomp you if you get out of line. I'll eat you right here and now, little bird." And that is where we find Detective Morgan in his office, looking over filing cabinets of stuff. There is 2 desks in his office. There's his office and an empty his desk, and then an empty desk that has a little bit of dust on it, and one blue jay feather just sitting right on top of there. Morgan, who did you bring them with you to your office to get the paperwork, or?
So, I don't know about bringing a deer
right.
the entire park
to the
center of the town, but I definitely have Ronnie with me at this point because we need to get him, we need to get the proper forms filled out. Yeah.
Ronnie's got his feet kicked up and he's kind of staring at the ceiling, and he's mumbling a little prayer to himself. You know, welcome to Good Burger.
Home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Sam, as he's walking around his office, like looking for forms.
Playing with his little rosary. I don't have a rosary, so I'm using my pocket watch.
Fair enough.
Playing with his little
Grabs his manila folder and he's like flipping through paperwork. He's like, "Hey, get your feet off the desk, man. You're dirty." And just like shooing your feet.
Whoa, what's that supposed to mean, officer?
You keep your feet on the ground, don't you? You put your feet on the ground. You don't put them on my desk.
You hear the door open and a young detective. We're looking at a young cardinal. We're looking at early 20s age.
The religious ones.
Oh, a bird, yeah.
Because you said
I said cardinal, yeah. Wearing just a wife beater and the holster for his gun, and a box of stuff because apparently he's moving into this office. He comes in and he kind of blows the blue feather off of the dusted over desk and sets his box down. And he kind of waves at you, Morgan, and starts to just put stuff all over that desk. All over her desk.
Hey, you mind being a little bit more respectful of your predecessors?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy.
What do you mean predecessors?
Who do you think had that desk before you?
This is not a new desk?
It's not a new desk. Hey, pick that feather.
There was a feather on it. It's not his.
Hey, buddy! Have you noticed who works here? We're all birds.
Yes, but does this look? I stand up. I am much taller than both of them. I gestured to more. Does any part of this bird look blue to you? Find a blue spot on him. I'll wait.
Ronnie, it's all right, man. We get sit back down. Okay, so we got
Fuming.
Yeah. Settle down, kid. I get it.
Gets back down again.
Who is this kid? Who is this kid?
Do I know this cardinal's name, or is he like?
Do you want to name him?
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta think of a name for a
Sure,
cardinal.
sure.
They're just making dead eye. Ronnie and the Cardinal just making dead eye contact with each other.
The only name that's popping in my head is Louis. It's like Louis Saint Cardinal. Louis Saint Cardinal.
Louis Saint Cardinal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Hey, I like it. Louis Saint Cardinal. I like it.
Louis Saint Cardinal.
Yeah.
Yo, Louis, man. We got a situation going down at the other end of the park.
Oh yeah, the guy with the horns. Yeah, I heard all about that. It's all over the papers.
Yeah. Anyway, Louis. So the mayor has a task force that he has appointed.
Not it.
Ronald here.
I didn't want any part of this.
That's fine. No one was asking.
Good. I didn't want any part of it.
You want us to stop giving you details? Like, you want to be that little a part of it, or?
Okay, I'm curious. You reeled me in. Okay, tell me.
Hey, there we go.
So, yeah, there's a thing called a deer, and, well...
A deer what?
Yeah, you're telling me.
Deer is an adjective. What is the deer? What is deer to you?
No, that's what he calls himself.
He's so full of himself, he named his species something that sweet.
What an asshole.
That's what I stand back up. That's what I said.
Sam lights up another cigar, and he's just like, yeah, man, I'm right there with you. It's kind of...
Hey, could you not smoke in here?
Yeah, what he said.
This is my fucking office first.
Ronnie and Louis went from hating each other.
Louis goes and cracks open a window.
If this
Turns on the ceiling fan.
Ronnie and Louis getting married, what do we even do?
Anyway, Louis, pick up that feather.
This isn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is Azul's feather.
yeah, that's Azul's feather.
This is Azul's desk.
Yeah, Louis.
Fuck.
You show a little respect, kid.
What do I do with it?
Just bring it. Bring it here.
He like
Louis redeemed himself
He
so fast.
gingerly puts. That's Cardinals for you.
The cops all know each other.
He gingerly puts it in his hands and kind of like with two hands. This has become this is like fast to like very quickly to Louis become a sacred relic. Slowly passes it over to Sam.
Sam just takes it out of his hands, turns his back to him, puts the feather in like a cup holder on his desk.
Love it.
Yeah, and he turns back to Louis, and he's like, "So anyway, Louis, so yeah, Ronnie here is getting a deputization. We're just looking for the rec forms."
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did anyone happen to inform you that all those forms are going to be kept by the commissioner? Since I don't know why they started. I don't know why she implemented a new thing, but now it's just a new policy change. All those forms got to be kept in the commissioner's office.
Always changing the goddamn policy. Nothing can stay in one goddamn spot.
One goddamn spot. You telling me?
All right, Ronnie, we gotta head up to the commissioner's office.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Louis is now like very slowly with his wing feather dusting the desk, kind of very slowly.
Hey.
Opa! And you guys head down to the commissioner's office. The commissioner is not a bird and not very much for climbing, despite being a cat. She's an old cat. So her office is actually at the very base of one of the two topiary bushes. And it's very dark down there. Her shades are constantly drawn. There's only like small slits of light coming through. She's smoking. Got like a very large pile of like half smoked cigarettes in an ashtray that's over, like kind of mounding up on over to the side there. She's kind of picking at a small pile of kibble that she's poured out for herself, and she's looking over some papers as you guys enter.
Hey, Commish, how's it going? Got a situation, need to get some forms.
Which forms do you want, Morgan?
We're looking for the deputization requisition forms.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Yeah, where I put those, Yeah, too many cops were deputizing random nobodies. It was getting confusing about how power was being delineated. This way I can keep a better track of it. This is an old cat, guys.
You don't have to worry about that with me. See, I'm a part of the church, and as we know, there's nothing wrong with mixing law and religion.
Yep, I can smell the burger grease on you from halfway down the hall.
I take that as the highest compliment.
All I can hear- All I can hear is Mike Wazowski.
That's the voice I'm going for, thank you!
It's definitely Roz. I didn't picture a cat version of Roz, you're right.
She's like I said, she's got like patches of like sloughed off fur. This is an old cat. Like her houser like died eons ago, and she's been living in this park from since then. I mean, Missy's the same way, but her houser died more recently.
Yeah.
That's how strays are made, guys.
This one here, Ronald, was requested by the mayor.
The mayor!
Yeah, the mayor was here in the town this morning. I'm sure you heard about the situation coming down.
The demon, yeah! She reads tabloids.
I get a shit-eating grin when she says the demon.
Zip it, Ronald.
He's gonna stare at us with those piercing blue eyes and take our souls. Yeah, I want him out of here. Yeah, she gets her. Yeah, she gets her her news from a tabloid called Fox.
Hey!
Topical.
Yeah.
Oh! Hey!
Opa.
That's pretty good.
He's gonna start indoctrinating our children and having them tie sticks to their heads. I want him out of here.
Yeah, Commish.
Where did I put that circular file? Nope, that's an octahedral file. Okay.
I lean over. The file's actually circular. I didn't say that to Morrigan. Not to her.
I don't know if she actually knows geometry, Ronnie. We're just gonna
I was gonna say,
let her do it.
She held up a triangle, which is already a weird piece of
Yeah, she opens a file cabinet and produces the form.
She is blind, got it.
Oh, she's only partially blind in one eye, alright? It's only half fogged over.
Anyway.
Ronnie, not you. Morgan, sorry. I want you to have this. And she puts a bottle of really nice scotch on the table. I got it from a friend of a friend. Reminded me of you because your anniversary of Azul and it's coming up.
Yeah,
And I thought what's the best thing to get to someone who's about to be really, really, really sad. Scotch.
Yeah,
You're
that's,
not supposed to give
I'm not gonna
alcohol to sad people.
listen, Ronnie. Give me the fucking scotch, Ronnie.
Just hand it over.
I'm not, literally, I'm not holding this.
Oh yeah, he just shoves you out. He shoves you out of the way, and with like a really quick flip, he just kind of like his wing just flaps over the bottle, and it's gone, just like into his trench coat. I'm gonna put a bottle of scotch in my equipment.
Cool. Go for it, man. Ronnie, how old are you?
Again, we have to decide how aging works because the correct answer
Are
would be,
you-
like 2 years
Are
old.
you child? Are you preteen, teen, 20s, 30s?
Young
I
adult.
imagine I'm in like human years. I'm early 20s, and Ruby's just like a little, almost 20.
Okay, so you're not much. You're like a little younger than Louis is then.
Yeah.
Louis Saint Cardinal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Ruby's a teen delinquent, like a teenage delinquent,
I
but she's
imagine
old
Ruby
enough to
at,
be
like,
tried as
18,
an adult.
I just had the best idea. Ronnie, take your sister with you. Get her out of our city. Give us a break.
Hey, Commissioner, where the hell did this come from?
This came from a pain in my ass lit by that rat.
We're literally both like, I don't know if they...
Hey,
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to my role yet. With me sneaking
Ruby
behind
is
them.
already... I was gonna say, Ruby is staring in the window.
We can make that cannon. I'll snap my fingers and I'll make that cannon.
No, I was actually gonna use my roguish feet sneak to follow them.
how did you, how she got so far into the police department?
Well, now she's like
How good
out. She's like looking through the window, right?
she takes on it with a knife.
No, when she says, "I want that rat out of here," she pulls the blind, and there's Ruby.
Ronnie doesn't say shit if she doesn't see it. Ronnie keeps his fucking mouth shut because he ain't a snitch.
Well, now she's pulled the blind up, and there's Ruby right there in the window, looking in. Do us all a favor and take your sister with you. Don't make me use my power. Do it of your own free will.
Okay. Yes, officer.
Oh, this is bad.
This is what every buddy cop story needs. We need a guy who's been in the force a long time, whose old partner is dead, a new guy who sees things completely different, and then a fucking
Arsonist.
That's what every buddy cop
So
needs.
we're putting together the A-team here.
Ba ba da ba 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 ba. We got Murdoch. We've got I don't know if you're Face, but you're definitely Mad Eye.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mad Eye Murdoch.
yeah.
I forgot what the A-team's names were off the top of my head, and I thought you were trying to say we were also making the gorillas.
Oh my god. There's B.A. Baracus, Murdoch, Face, and then I forgot who the freaking cigar guy's name is.
Cigar guy.
Cigar guy.
Yeah.
Didn't I just say his name though?
Pretty much the gorillas. Side note, we are also pretty much the gorillas. The more I think about it.
We need B.A. Baracus. Who's
So,
B.A. Baracus?
John Hannibal Smith.
Hannibal, yes! Face, Murdoch, and B.A. Baracus, baby.
Anyway,
Howlin' Mad Murdoch is the other.
Howlin' Mad. I was mixing up Mad Eye Moody and Howlin' Mad Murdoch. Which honestly, if I could give them the fusion earrings, I would love to see that happen.
That's,
Yeah,
that,
here I
that,
am.
That's your jive, I can see it.
I'm mixing up the losers and the A-team.
it's completely different.
Yeah.
Here, have a second form. Deputize them both. This is just an elaborate campaign to rehabilitate the image of these two knuckleheads.
My image is fine.
Sure it is. You're
I
associated.
haven't committed a crime. Yeah, exactly.
You have covered for her for crimes though. A lot.
Obstruction of justice.
As Sam takes the forms from the commissioner, you've never seen him look more like forlorn. He looks so bummed out.
Which is hard to capture because of the dark feathers. Dark feathers. I tried to give him bags already.
A cop to being like, I gotta be a cop with my sister.
He was really worried about being a cop because of his sister, and he's even more worried about being a cop with his sister.
Having his sister be a cop.
Hey, now they're both cops.
She was already above the law. Now she is the law.
Huh? This fall, watch as these two wacky siblings
Trying to be cops without committing fucking arson.
in Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill 3.
Oh no.
It's so good we skipped right past 2.
Oh, they didn't make a second one?
I hope not.
I thought they made a sequel.
That they're searching for the second movie.
That's so good.
Oh my god. Jack, we forgot to make a sequel!
We went straight to the trilogy.
Oh my god, someone get Adam Sandler on the phone right now!
No, please.
He'll do anything, I think. Let's get him in here.
Sorry, David Spade.
Okay. So you guys meet up with Ruby outside the police station. And Thrall Abdul is like you can still see him from here because of how tall he is, but he's like hiding behind a tree because there are some casual strollers of like people, like humans and human babies going through the park, and one thing that you notice about the way that humans are, how humans be, there's a good number of these humans that they don't notice Thrall. And those who do, more often than not, just kind of morph their hand into one of those weird little rectangle things and hold it towards in his direction for a little bit. And then they put it away and then they just keep going on with their day. Some of them watch for longer, but most of them just, cool deer.
Yeah, that's about what I expect from humans already, so.
I know he was hiding behind a tree, but honestly, all I keep picturing is him in, like, a hedge bush of, like, trying to hide in it, and it's just, like, his head and shoulders sitting proudly outside of a bush while the rest of him is in the bush. Like, I don't know, it just popped in my head. I was just like, he's hiding behind a tree, and I was just like, a massive buck. Like, bucks don't, like, hide. They just kind of stand.
They do, yeah.
And he's just sitting there, just, like, pretending to hide. He's just sitting still in a bush.
If I don't move.
He like lowers his head a little bit, and his face comes back up with like just like random berry juice all over his lips. He found a snack. Heck yeah.
Look at that.
Like mulberry bushes or elderberries or whatever they would grow in a park.
Mulberries are good.
Ruby, I got mediocre news.
Mediocre?
Morgan, I don't want to try to explain this one. Morgan, you're up.
Tegan!
Morgan takes off his hat, which you don't see him do very often. He's just kind of like, he walks up to Ruby and hands her.
Completely featherless up there, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's definitely thinning.
Mm-hmm. Combed over.
Walks up to Ruby and just picks up her hand and puts like the deputy's badge into her hand, be like, "Congratulations, today's your day," and just like looks back at Ronnie. You already have yours from being in the.
Yeah, I just kind of hold out.
Yeah, it's
Again,
like,
the only prop I have today is a pocket watch my mom gave me for my birthday.
it's just like, we'll discuss this on the way, I guess. But congratulations, you're on the force.
Seriously?
You're surprised, shocked as I am.
Even Ruby is confused as shit.
You're still on the same floor as old Chomper's office, and you can kind of see her looking through the window at the proceedings going on here.
You didn't say her name. The commish, like, all the way there. Is there a couple of lose?
She's yeah.
I'm watching you.
She's she.
Always watching.
There it is.
I cannot hear what we're saying, but her fucking face is pressed to the wall.
I'm watching.
Like a cat playing the blinds.
Yeah, that's the exact energy. Yes.
Deputize that little shit.
Oh, I can tell. Ruby's a cop now.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're gonna have to deal with that one.
What do I get to do now?
We're gonna discuss it on the way, Ruby.
Okay.
As you guys go back to touch base. As you guys get back to touch base with Raw, you find Chewie. Chewie, I imagine you've brought little things for this tall stranger to try.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of little things?
I have an assortment of foods that are for carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores, and it's kind of like a tasting platter for each type.
Ronnie stopped by the church and got him a singular French fry. He is trying to convert him.
Okay.
I feel like just holding it. I feel like
You're just holding it up here. I imagine those buff mice from Demon Slayer. French fry, French fry, French fry, French fry, French fry.
You always have to remember, because he doesn't act like it, that Ronnie is just
Jacked. Well, he has a high burger protein diet, man. What do you want?
Exactly.
He both eats and weightlifts with nuggets
Exactly.
on like a little straw barbell.
Anyway.
I want someone to pitch that for the Patreon art.
You guys are gonna give this deer the shits so bad. He's never eaten processed food in his life.
Okay.
Chewie, how you doing? Ruby's the cop now.
Yeah, look at my badge.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we said.
I mean, that's really cool, though. Are you gonna be on the straight and narrow now, or are you gonna use this as an excuse?
I don't know. They haven't told me what I do with it yet.
Ah.
Ronnie stares daggers into her when he says that.
Thrall is kind of nibbling at the tiny morsel of something or other.
I brought food.
And you called this pasta, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I
I have no idea what this noodle is made of, but it is certainly very good. And what?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I hold up the fry and I go, the humans gave me this. And I wanted you to know what that feels like.
He takes of the fry and specks it under the light. It is both chewy and raw at the same time, a little crunchy and flaky a little, but despite all of that, there is a sensation coating my mouth that is making it very dry, yet I am salivating like there is no tomorrow. I do not think I like whatever that is.
It goes better with water.
I think I'll try this. And he picks up the little toothpick with the meatball on it. It is a your guys' sized meatball. So he just kind of looks at it like,
Just a little tiny EV thing. I should probably make a bigger one for you next time.
The big meatball.
I could manage it. Maybe.
I'm just picturing a raccoon carrying a full-sized meatball.
full-size meatball. I'm not quite sure I like him. I'm not quite sure I like the meatball, but thank you anyway. So have you figured out what direction my home is?
You came for that direction. I don't know why we even just mentioned that up till now.
There was a blood trail.
There
Yeah, you
was.
followed, but it's probably not clean yet.
Speaking of,
Blessedness clean up a lot of things, but I don't think they've done that yet.
could I come with you guys?
I would love the tiny chef to join us.
I don't
No,
see
listen.
why not.
I have a perfect explanation for this, okay? I can cook for you guys, I can make sure you have lots to eat, and I can use this up as an opportunity to learn about how people from outside our city eat.
A cultural exchange! How wonderful!
Well, Morgan, can we talk for just a second?
Yeah.
Listen, I know adding one more person sounds chaotic, but it's one more person for Ruby to spread her attention to and stuff. I just feel like, like Shui's a really good listener, so she needs to just really ramble on. He will not stop her, and then that's problem solved for a little bit.
Oh man.
As long as he doesn't let her borrow any of his flame-generating instruments.
You can see, like, you physically see the wheels turning, and Morgan's head is just being like, this is simultaneously a good idea. He's got a good point. He's got a real good point. But this is also a terrible fucking idea.
I mean, I think we haven't made a we haven't made a we haven't made a single roll this entire session.
I was going to for sneak, but
That's fine. I think this is a great roll to determine just how good or bad of an idea we can convince Sam Morgan this is. So I guess if Ronnie, if you could roll charm, and then I don't know, Morgan, probably cunning.
Doesn't matter.
Against
13.
You got a 13.
Double sixes.
You are convinced.
I did not get double
Listen,
sixes.
if there's one thing I know about Ruby, is she needs someone to divert her attention to. I truly believe a large part of why she's such a problem is because she hangs out with that chickadee. Chewie's a good kid.
Good
Ron
influence.
does not know he has a kill count, which is, by the way, I don't take notes during my games normally, but I did write down Chewie has a kill count in my notes right away.
Oh yeah, it's already in my head of like, oh boy, I'm
Chewie has
You guys now officially know what Goon and I were talking about.
Yeah,
Chewie has a kill count.
Chewie's got a kill count. Na 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 na.
Anyway,
So
Before we continue, I need to remember to before we continue, I need to remember to have you all do this. You need to add the Forest Horde to your reputation as a faction, and then I'm gonna give you all 2 notches towards 1 prestige for the Forest Horde for not only agreeing to help get Thrall back, but you haven't been complete and utter assholes. I mean, Ronnie's been a little bit of an asshole, but not a complete asshole.
Here's the deal. I don't want us to actively kill him. I just don't want him
To
anywhere
be
near
here
our town.
anymore.
Yeah. And now I'm mad at him because he said a heretical statement, which is that he doesn't like French fries.
He doesn't like the old French fry that you pulled out of a dumpster.
Where else am I gonna get them? That's where the humans leave them for me.
I'm willing to bet that there was a little bit that he liked, because deers love salt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of salt, though.
It's a lot
There's
of salt.
something there.
There was something there, but I feel like if he were to try a fresh one,
Like a
I think-
fresh fry, yeah.
I'm not gonna
Oh yeah,
get
that
him a friend.
crispiness.
So before Morgan fully agrees to this, Ronnie, he's gonna look at you and be like, "Listen, man. So this is between you and me, you, me, and the good burger, right?"
I keep looking back to make sure Ruby's not.
No.
You say you, me, and the good burger, and you point to.
For fire starting instruments.
Ruby is fully engrossed in Chewie's platter.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of things like a little breadstick.
That's how I was able to prove my point that Chewie could be a good distraction for Ruby.
Heck yeah.
He's currently
Yeah, like, look
actively
at this.
distracting
There's
Ruby.
food in my face, so I'm gonna go food.
Gotta go food.
You, me, and the good burger, yes. What can I take you
me,
for?
me, and the good burger. Me and the raccoons don't always get along so good. Now, Chewie is a good kid. I know Chewie, right? But that doesn't mean that Chewie's family is so good, right? If he's gonna be coming along, I need you to help keep an eye on him too.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can do that for you.
Dang,
I
dang,
actually do
dang.
have a negative. I have notoriety with the raccoon mob. I don't have a
I
perceived
do.
with them.
Yeah. I don't have enough for a full point, but as part of my backstory, I do have -1, which I think ended up being the fact that my sister wrote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm at technically I would at this point I'd be like a -2 because I started off with a -1.
Well, yeah, it doesn't grow.
Being a cop.
If you want, that's fair. That's fair. Go ahead and put 2 notches into notoriety with the raccoon mob.
Because
you have 2
because I probably got seen during the last episode here when I was in the restaurant sneaking around.
Yeah.
Also, they're actually trying to kill you, but so you're probably not on.
That's what having notoriety will get you.
Yep. So,
It's just the varying degrees of intense, like in notoriety. Just having 1 degree is be like, if they have the opportunity, they will end you. 2 notorieties, they're gonna start like actively like pursuing you, and then 3, every person in that organization is gonna try. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're pretty much at that situation at this very moment. So
Yeah.
negative two notoriety with the raccoon mob.
Well, you had -1 notoriety, right? And then to start. And then I said to put 2 notches into notoriety. That's the 2 boxes in between -1 and -2. It's not a full set of notoriety. You would need a total of 4 notoriety. You'd need a total of 4 notoriety to get to -2. You fill up the tick boxes, and then once you get 1 more than the number of tick boxes, that's when it rolls over into the whole number.
I gotta figure out how to put that as a notation in this notepad document.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Put it in quarters.
I literally am putting asterisks in parentheses against a little table that I made myself. So.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Now I do have +1 technically with the bird police department, and I got 2 notches now with the forest horde. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool beans.
Cool beans.
So yeah, Chewy, do I know your full name?
I feel like it's implied because it's just raccoon, right?
Yeah, Chewy Raccoon.
Like as long as you know the rest of my like mob family's name, you know mine.
Yeah, Chewy was
Like Timothy Raccoon.
Chewy. Yeah, was born Timothy Raccoon, but then was baptized into the Church of Good Burger as Chewy.
I did not choose Timothy, by the way.
I did that because I needed to. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, if I knew there was gonna be a name that was pre, I would have given you one, but it's okay. I probably don't associate with Timothy very much anymore because I very much like the name Chewy. I think it grew.
Yeah.
Is it like,
Is
it like something where, like, in a legal capacity, you still write Timothy, or is it like a full, like, dead name situation?
It would be.
I think it's.
It would be Timothy parentheses Chewy Raccoon.
Yeah. Or
It's
do
a-
you write? What do you write on your documents? I
Yeah.
guess is what I'm asking. You say.
Am I like legally? Am I allowed to only use Chewy Raccoon, or would I?
I
Have
think
to
I know.
Timothy
Well,
or could I use it as like a middle name?
I'm not Catholic, so I don't really know. I don't know if people like
I
go
think the
by
church
their
is
church
powerful
names.
enough in this world. If you can, some people do legally change their names.
Okay.
I'm not Catholic, but I've.
Did you want to legally change your name to Chewy?
Honestly, I think so. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think he identifies with the name so well that he's just like, yeah, the other one doesn't fit anymore.
Fair enough then. Then legally speaking, you are Chewy Raccoon.
Sweet. So yeah, you know my full name then. You might not know who I was, like what my original name was though. Like you might not know. You might not know Timothy.
You might have heard it a long time ago, but that was a long time ago, and he hasn't used that name since.
Do we do middle names?
I mean, if you want a middle initial, go for it.
If we're not doing them, I'm fine with it. I just wanted to
I
know.
just introduced myself a minute ago to the commissioner as Ronald McDonald O'Possum. So.
Fair.
I missed that. How did I miss that?
Exception.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald O'Possum. Yeah.
Oh my
Also,
god.
Ronald McDonald O'Possum, can I take your order after she said she could smell the burger grease?
I feel like Ruby's middle name has to be Tuesday then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ruby Bolt on a Tuesday.
Yeah, Ruby.
I believe.
Well, if you guys could come up with a restaurant that has the word Chewy in it,
Well, no, it would still be like a person name because.
Restaurant in the middle. Chewy raisin.
Well, no,
beans.
because the Good Burger name of Ronnie and Ruby is Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh, it's Itchy and Scratchy. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be restaurant.
Yeah.
Were named originally after restaurants.
Restaurants, yeah.
Yeah.
That's their original
I
recipe.
think it's Chewy, and for legal reasons, it's got to be Chewy Raccoon. I don't know why we put so much time into this.
No, that's fine. This is fleshing out world building, man.
honestly. Yeah, we're
I was trying to figure out. Basically,
name option.
I was trying to figure out how formal Morgan would have to be with you to start.
Right.
It's not like because it's not like you and Sam would have much interaction because you're not a bad kid.
yeah.
Like, and you're also a member of you're also a member of the raccoon family, so he tries not to interfere with your business too much.
Yeah.
But he's also like a fairly respected restaurateur.
Yeah, which is why I was saying, like, if he has a formal name that's like, if his name was Timothy, he would address you as like Mr. Raccoon.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call Gordon Ramsay Jordy Ramsay.
Because food is so important to this animal culture, would it be a good idea to make the chef, like, title as important as, like, a doctor title or something? Cause
I can add it to your overlay if you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, chef.
I've already modified your overlay once today. I could do it again.
Oh yeah, fair.
I love that.
How do you abbreviate chef?
As long as it's not a hassle.
Is that SHF?
Chewy.
That's
Hey,
that's
let's take a
CHF.
look.
CHF
Yeah, CHF, yeah.
dot Chewy Raccoon. There we go. And it is so.
EC stands for executive chef.
Oh yeah.
Is he an executive chef? Does he have other chefs below him in his restaurant?
We haven't established this at all.
No, I like it though.
How big the restaurant is.
It's one restaurant.
Only chef and you're executive.
You're probably. Let's just keep it as chef. Let's keep it simple, stupid. Let's kiss it. Yep.
Let's kiss it.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, I get it now. Got
Yeah.
it. I thought you were saying, like, as a way of, like, saying, let's put a bow on it, like, let's call it done. I thought that's you were saying, kiss it to mean that. And I was like, what?
Oh my god.
Let's give it a little smooch. We're done here.
Just a little peck on the cheek. Yeah, a little peck on the cheek and move on.
You guys are wrapping up this little bit of a conversation when two towering shadows cast everyone except for Thrall, obviously. Are cast over everyone. These two towering shadows, of course, are the two pitbull bodyguards, and they step to the side, and the mayor steps forward. Detective! Deputy, I assume?
Yeah.
Alright.
Deputies.
Deputies?
She lifts her face from the food just long enough.
And
to elbow me a
chef,
little bit.
Yeah.
and chef, you are also here. I've got awesome news. My owner, my human, she took a liking to our dear friend here. Has taken quite a few pictures with her little magic box, and got a little curious as to where he might have come from. Did a little bit of that human sorcery nonsense, and here I've drawn you a map, and it's a pretty shit map, honestly. It outlines a few neighborhood blocks of outward past the familiar shape that you recognize because you've like been around the entirety of the inside of New Rodensburg, but the familiar, not exactly perfectly square shape. It's kind of got some additional add-ons to it, like there's a whole playground that's been like indented in biz. So you recognize the shape of New Rodensburg, and you recognize a couple of rows of houses back. You see a dotted line starting at New Rodensburg, passing a large shape that has the words like kids scribbled on it with a lot of exclamation points. And that dotted line goes past there. You see it also pass by a great big, another very large open shape in which the word treasure is written very large. And then finally beyond that shape there is a kind of parallel lines with lines drawn segmenting it there. And then beyond that is a bunch of like pillowy shapes. Kind of what's really being denoted here is where your park is, where the surrounding neighborhood is, a school, a dump, and then one strip of railroad, and then forest. finally, you guys, provided to you by the good mayor, you guys have a map. You've got a quest. You've got a direction and a destination.
Well, this is appreciated,
So-
sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't mention it. I want that thing out of here.
Yeah, ASAP, sir. As fast as we can. We're gonna get started today.
You guys see Thrall Abdul's ears twitch up and kind of swivel around a bit. And soon after, you all begin to hear the low rumble of one of the humans' boxy wheeled conveyances. And it's not one of the boxy wheeled conveyances that you guys are used to. Like, most Thursday afternoons, like one of these boxy wheeled conveyances will come and drop off a small battalion of uniformed human children with spiky shoes and a black and white sphere. This is not that. It's not even Thursday. It is the much boxier wheeled conveyance that smells like death. It has returned. It has pulled up to the entrance, to the northmost entrance to the park, which is where the dotted line on the map starts, which sucks. And stepping out from the boxy wheeled conveyance is the orange-vested god of death. Whoa! Fashion crime! Look at that guy. What? You guys are looking at him like he's some kind of devil.
Thrall, you good to walk, man?
You should get moving.
Thrall takes off in a leaping bound, south towards the playground.
Oh, God, you idiot. You were going north.
That's the wrong way.
And that, very large, very handsome deer has gotten the very large, very malicious attention of that orange-vested god of death.
Oh boy.
Ruby, I need you to make a distraction as fast as possible. I know you got it in you.
Okay.
What?
Throw,
What are you worried about? It's just a house.
Okay.
no, Crow, find a means of egress. Chewie, keep being adorable. I'll go get that deer.
That's not a task.
I only had 3 tasks in mind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
You gotta
Do you want me to take care? You want me to hold off that human?
good task for you to do.
I got nothing else going on. I can... Boys! I need uppies. And, one of the pit bulls picks up the teacup pug and places him gingerly on his big pit bull head. And the two, the mayor kind of rides, the pit bull with the other pit bull close behind, like up to the orange-vested god of death, and they start barking. On the human conscious level, we see the orange-vested god of death. He's got his rifle slung over his shoulder. He's watching the 8-point buck that he shot last night bound off towards the playground. And then he sees a teacup pug and 2 bulldogs run up to him. The teacup pug, like, riding on the pit bull's head, and he's like, "Oh my word, aren't you just the sweetest little thing? Look at you. Is he giving you a ride? Is he giving you a ride? Shoo, aren't you so cute?" They've got his attention for a little bit.
Alright,
I completely
Ronnie's
missed
just
what I
gonna
wanted
take
to do.
off sprinting. Well, you have time to start a fire to distract them. That gives you
That's
time to
also
set
what
it.
so I also have a weapon move called Harry.
What does Harry do?
So when you harry a group of enemies at a far range, you can mark where and you roll with cunning. And on a 10+, Both, and on a 7 to 9, choose one. You either inflict 2 morale harm, or they are pinned or blocked.
Cool.
So if I roll a 7 to 9, anything. If I roll over a 7, I could block them from getting into the park.
I mean, if that's the plan, go for it. That sounds like a very useful move in this situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was reading my moves. I was like, what can I do?
What can I, a crow, do? Okay, go for it.
You go
If you guys want to go in tandem, this is an unlikely pair. I love it.
Okay. I will throw a vial of skunk stink at them to confuse their senses, and then you can harry them into whatever.
That'll definitely give Morrigan advantage.
Is there any sort of like help action or anything like that in this set? Like, is there any sort of bonuses for working in tandem?
I mean, I certainly will lower the DC.
So like,
or something like that.
Alright, so like if I were to like take the skunk vial and just drop it from the air, like they effectively harry them.
Yeah.
You'd just be like.
I would just be to that. I think that would be both of the moves going off at the same time.
Okay.
So you take the better of the two rolls.
Okay.
Cool. Definitely.
All right, well,
yours is probably better than mine.
Let's see
Now,
what we get.
Chewie, your plan. Now it's your job to find the method of egress out of here, because they're apparently doing the distraction.
We see Morgan.
Plus 1 is 11.
Hey!
Better than my 6.
Oppa!
Hey.
Gotcha. So we see Morgan take to the sky, and then Ruby kind of be like, wait, and she pulls out something from her bag, and she's got like a literal skunk grenade.
It's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. All right.
Look, it's the Geneva Convention.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Our crow. Yeah.
In this situation, I would mark where, which I'm assuming is like marking damage on an opponent.
No, where is like your inventory of random stuff?
Okay.
Right?
That's
Is
depletion.
that what it is? I think. Oh, depletion. You're right.
And for this, I would want Ruby to mark 1 depletion. Because she just, unless you had vial of skunk something in your inventory already.
No.
Okay, then there you go, that's
I do
depletion.
want to establish some of the gadgets and stuff that I have.
Yeah. Okay, if you want to like have an emergency vial of skunk stink on you from this point on, I will allow it. But for now, you're taking 1 depletion.
Yes.
All right. So I get to.
You get the payload.
I get to inflict 2 morale harm, and as well as they are pinned or blocked.
All right. Do you signal to the mayor, or are you gonna skunk him too?
I am signaling to the mayor. Yeah, absolutely. I am not getting that kind of notoriety added today.
Absolutely. That would be mark against house or morality, if anything, and you do not want to get on the houser's bad side.
Yep. No, thank you.
No, sir.
That's how you die.
That's how you die. Yeah, so you take to the sky with the payload, you arm it by pulling the pin, and what specific words do you squawk down to the mayor and his 2 goons?
Oh boy. Honestly, what's popping in my head, it's like, not today, Death! So we're just gonna drop the vial directly in his face and just fly. Like, I can't even imagine a crow flying directly at my face in real life. Like, I've had birds fly at me, but like it's.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I like a bike ride had like a cardinal think that I was like in its territory and kept hitting me in the helmet.
Aww.
When I was riding, I was like a young teen, like 12, 13, and this bird kept flying down and hit me in the head. I was like, oh god damn it, no.
No.
Can I talk for a minute about how freaking stupid I can be?
Go for it.
I was trying to write a thing that I forgot to write on my Photoshop file, and I had a selection selected, so I couldn't write anything, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't write anything, because you can only write inside of the selection.
Earlier
It
today.
was like 3 pixels. I don't even know how it got there.
Earlier today, I did a whole inking on my sketch layer in Korea.
Oh no!
I hate that so much.
Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, you arm the payload, you drop it. When you say not today, Death, the mayor kind of looks up confused like, huh? Boys, book it, now! And then the 2 dogs, with the smaller dog on top of the one, they skedaddle. And The hunter looks at them all. Ain't they just the cutest thing? And it's not every day you see something like, what the? Whoo! Whoo! Oh! Oh! Ah! Good God! What in the? Is there a skunk in this park? Okay. I guess Chewy. Now your job to kind of figure out a new way to get out of here. Now that the north exit to the park is blocked off, not really being able.
I'm looking at like all of my stats, and aside from like sneak, I don't really see anything I can use, and I'm not really sure how to do this yet.
Okay. Just give me a cunning check then.
Okay. Oh, where'd I put my dice?
This is a strategery thing that you're doing. Strategery.
What was your playbook again?
The bat one.
Envoy.
Envoy.
So I got... You said cunning?
Cunning check. Yes, you have +1 to cunning.
That's an 8. Also, I haven't taken my moves, apparently. So I was meaning to take plots and schemes, which would make my cunning +1.
Alright, so then roll +2.
Yeah, so that would be a 9.
That's a 9. Yeah. Yeah, so this park has a few exits. The farthest one is the southmost one. The one that Thrall Abdul is moving towards is more on the southeastern side, which is on the opposite side of the direction that you guys really need to be going. It is the largest of the opening because it is where the wall just stops for the just so that one side of the playground is just open. There's like no gate or anything. And so that's already where Thrall Abdul is headed. And so that, perhaps, if you can figure out some way, think up some way to kind of keep him from going any more south and keep going a little more east, that would be something that you would like. That would be something advantageous to yell to your jacked possum friend.
What if we made a very loud noise to scare him in the direction we want him to go?
Oh, that's much better than my idea, yeah.
Like, if he's full on afraid, and the only way we can get him to go somewhere is to...
Climb the deer, use his antlers as reins. Come on!
Hey, James, that was the exact idea I was working with.
Fantastic.
That is beautiful.
How else do you guide a deer?
How else do you guide a deer?
We can do both.
Ruby,
Yes?
I know you, like, were doing stuff already, but could you make, like, could you go over in, like, that direction? And I point to, like, the direction that's, like, the opposite of the direction we want him to go. And I say, could you get just something to make a really loud noise just over there?
Just so I
a little bit in front of his.
just so I know now, what is already in your inventory?
In mine?
Yes. Just in case you try to... What is already in your inventory?
A lighter that we've established.
You got the
We
disc
didn't
shooter.
really.
Disc
I got
shooter.
the disc
We didn't really talk about inventories. I don't even know what's in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I figure I have
a rosary.
I figure I have like at least a portable cooking thing.
Yeah.
I've got firecrackers. How about firecrackers?
I like that. Yes, firecrackers. That's gonna be you have firecrackers. They were left behind by some unruly teens when one of the blue and red ones showed up. They were just kind of thrown into a bush when the blue and red ones came to interrogate those teens.
I'm calling it a portable restaurant.
Portable restaurant, heck yeah. It's like a little cart.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so I'm a run.
So you're going downtown through the center of New Rodensburg. Honestly, a really good place to do this would be from the bell tower of the Church of Goodburger.
Man,
Okay. Yeah, I parkour my way up there.
Give me a finesse roll.
Okay. Yeah, I can use acrobatic.
Go for it.
What do I use for roguish feats, or do they just like happen?
Finesse.
Okay.
Yep.
It's on the page with all the basic, right above all the basic notes.
Yeah, that's a 9.
And I think that the roguish feats tell you what to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't on the page.
Yeah, it does
I don't
on like
remember it
page 19.
saying
I
on
believe.
the.
I'm seriously
I think it's
writing
finesse.
all of the rules that apply to my character on this sheet and never looking at any other sheet again afterwards.
Yeah, it's not a bad practice.
I think that's
It doesn't
probably
say,
Yeah.
It just says what it does.
that's the main reason why I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
I believe there like
remake
is
it.
a move called use a roguish feat though.
Oh
It
yeah,
says
yeah.
specifically
Okay.
it's finesse.
Yeah, roll with finesse. Okay. So
Yeah.
I got a 9 on.
You got a 9 in finesse. That's a mixed success, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Mark exhaustion or 1 risk. I'll just mark it. Oh, GM's choice.
Yeah. Go ahead and mark an exhaustion there, because yeah, you have these firecrackers, but like also you have to climb the many steps of the bell tower. Then you get to the top of the bell tower, and it's not even like a real bell. It's just like it's the facade of a bell. It is just a jumbo. It's just a jumbo cup. Stop that. You stop that right now. I'm the pun man. I'm the one who makes the puns.
I disagree.
It is a large drink cup. It is the largest drink size that Good Burger offers, and it's covered in like shiny foil. And you are exhausted. You might have rolled your ankle a little bit climbing all these stairs, but from the top of the bell tower, you're able to let loose with these firecrackers pulling all of their strings. Just kind of, you got like a little bit. You get like first degree or like minor burns on your elbows. You kind of like pinch them and then just kind of pull them. And the sound goes off, and you see Thrall Abdul, who like kind of had like staggered and stopped, just kind of look around a little more. Hear the pop, 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 pop. There's like that. You can see him experience PTSD, and he kind of like spins, like kind of just kind of like in place, just kind of turns around in a circle, kind of just kind of pinpoints. He sees the hunter there, but he heard the gunshot from that direction, and he's like, and then he starts heading right towards the playground. And great, awesome, nothing else can possibly go wrong. Except you now see, now that more attention has been devoted to the playground, that there are human children there. And that is going to be a problem for next session of Daddy's Dungeon Trash Chronicles. Uh-oh, spagoodios. Thank you guys so much for watching. Is there end of session stuff that we need to do like last time, or no?
See
Yes,
if anyone's
yes.
embodied their
Their drives.
I don't have a character sheet in front of me. Because
Yes,
I'm not
drives.
computer,
I would argue that I followed my chaos drive because I used my stink bomb to topple a tyrannical figure or order, as in like the gods of death.
Agreed.
Prevented. Yes. Awesome.
It is so. Just my gavel here.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm taking loyalty again because I have to leave my restaurant, my baby, behind and go and possibly kill someone, and that is not
So
something
saith.
Chewie would
So
normally
yeah.
do.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, that's a drive. Yep, go ahead. Yep. Loyalty fulfilled. You got your loyalty boon. There you go. Anyone else?
Noish.
I did not embody principle, nor did I embody protection. No.
Technically, I embodied discovery because we found out a lot of information from Thrall.
Yeah.
And there was part of like questioning him and figuring out what the hell we're doing. I don't know if that counts because it's just kind of naturally moving the story along at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But
It feels like
I was part.
the same discovery as last time.
Yeah.
The last time it was, hey, we have this deer in the park, and this time it's, hey, we have more information about who he
This
is.
deer is part of a society this time.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you on your call whether or not that's an advancement. It's very similar to last time.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely satisfied.
It's
what's
it's
your?
definitely not a revenge drive, so.
It's not a revenge drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no revenge drive in this episode. So.
Okay. And now it's time to get pitches for this week's Patreon art. Who has the pitch for me? Hit me. Hit me with your pitches.
I would like an image of Ruby in the window.
Ruby in the window. Kind of upside down almost.
It's just gonna be Ruby based, I think.
Okay. That's one pitch. Ruby in the window.
I need those dogs.
Like, in what capacity?
Real
There's.
dog on top of the other dogs. I need the dogs.
You want wee dogs? You want the teacup?
Like the ride towards the hunters, the gods.
The mayor riding one of his goons.
Yeah,
That's
something
cute.
Like that.
Yeah,
Just
I like
anything with the mayor and his goons. That's great.
mayor and his goons.
Okay, I want the tasting platter.
Yeah, tasty platter. Yeah. So we got Ruby and.
Feel free to ask me for like food ideas because I have a list of stuff that I thought Chewie might make.
Heck
based on
yeah!
that, slightly Italian, slightly Roaring Twenties vibe I had initially.
Yeah.
I crave this list.
So we've got Ruby in the
I have to work
window.
on it a little bit,
Ruby in the
but I
window.
will post it. Sorry.
It's okay. We got Ruby in the window. We've got Mayor and his goons. We got the tasty platter, and then James, you got a pitch for me?
I'm gonna go with the Don handing the vial off to Chewie in the back of the restaurant.
The Don's assignment. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
It's one of those real dark scenes. You're like, ooh.
Very dark, yeah. Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna set you guys free to go watch Critical Role. You guys, I am your. This is the unofficial warm-up podcast for Roll20 or Dimension 20 or Critical Role. I have always. I'm Goon Daddy, your garbage man, your game master, your all-around trash human being. Over here we have Critterick, aka Chef Chewy Raccoon, and next to them we have Moss Creature playing Ruby Possum. Got the Noodle Doodler playing Ronnie Possum, and then Video James playing Detective Sam Morgan. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are all awesome, but remember, y'all are trash. Yeah, that's the call sign. That's the end of call sign. I freaking love it. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, no, I did that. I said, hey, furries.